All right. Welcome to your yoga practice. It is Wednesday, February 5th. I'll invite the bell, but just a heads up today, every day, but today we'll definitely be using props, so you can grab a strap, blocks, blanket if you have them. Always a good idea to just keep these things nearby in case, even if I don't cue for it, maybe you'll find an opportunity. Okay, let's take some breaths. All right, welcome. It is Wednesday, February 5th. Friendly reminder, we have the chance to stay a few minutes after our movement practice and practice a bit of meditation. Since our theme this month is Satya, truthfulness, we'll be practicing a really simple and true mindfulness practice and sprinkle in some loving kindness at the end. Thought, this comes from TKV Desikar Char, The Heart of Yoga. A way of considering satya or truthfulness is right communication through speech, writings, gesture, and actions. Right communication through speech, writings, gesture, and actions. So this is all ways that we can embody truthfulness. All right, let's go ahead and grab our strap and a block. And we'll begin a little differently today. So my idea is that we will lie on the ground with a block squeezed between our legs. Remember, it's okay if you don't have any of these tools, you just kind of mimic the movement. But we'll extend our legs long, squeezing the block between the thighs if we have it, and then bring the strap in our hands and stretch our arms up overhead alongside our ears, but you can open your arms out wider. Find a way that works for you. We'll be here for a couple minutes, so let yourself get comfortable enough. If it's too much to have your arms all the way up overhead, just bring them to the point that feels sustainable. And then we'll try to walk one shoulder up closer to the ear and then the other. So you can imagine like where you might even feel you're stretching out your torso. And keep doing that side to side. Squeeze the block if you've got it. You can even flex your ankles, pushing through the soles of your heels while we keep walking our shoulders up higher, creating more space between our hips and our shoulders. Great. When you feel like you are stretched out as much as you can, take a couple breaths here, soften the belly. So we're literally creating space in the connective tissues. In that space, we can try to fill it in with breath. And then let's pull our arms up overhead even more energetically. Lift your chest and move your shoulders over to the left side. So now we're in kind of a banana shape. Really push through your right foot, squeezing the block if you've got it. You might be getting a stretch around the hip flexors, into the deep oblique muscles, the area of your torso. Maybe you're really feeling it around your rib cage, your shoulder, even your tricep area. See if you can relax your head and neck. And on your next breath in, imagine breathing into your right side body, the side that we've opened up. Still engaging the legs, squeezing the block, pushing through the heels. Engage your core to bring your torso back to center. And then lift up your shoulders, move them over to the right side. So now we're kind of a banana to the other side. Flexing the ankles, push through your heels. Really imagine dragging your left foot down, pulling your arms up and over to the right side. So this is the lateral stretch that we do all the time, when we're standing or in a lunge pose. But now our back body has support. We can really focus on our side body. Breathing, see if you can notice stretch all down the left side body. You might even close your eyes And let your attention trace the sensation for the next couple breaths. And carefully come back to center. Oh, let's give our arms a break. So releasing the strap, you can set it aside. You can just rest your hands on your belly and chest if that feels okay. You can relax your legs. You might even remove the block. That way the legs can really relax without feeling obligated to hold anything. Taking an early Shavasana. Just a few breaths here. Really soften the belly. Let your breath come in softly through your nose. No need to tense the neck or the shoulders. Let the breath come in all the way down to the lowest part of your lungs. The belly expands. And then the ribs lift and spread out. The top of the chest lifts and spreads out. And then let it all go. Take your time at your own pace once again, breathing in. Keep breathing in. Let it be slow and full. And when it's time, breathe out. Okay, before we get sleepy, let's put our feet on the ground. Let's roll over to your left side, push yourself up, then keep your feet on the ground, bring your hands back behind you. We'll take our energy in the opposite direction. And it's okay if you've decided to nap from here on out. I'll ring the bell in about 20 minutes. All right, hands on the ground, lift your hips. Go ahead and engage your glutes and imagine pushing them straight up to the sky. Breathe here and know that you can make any adjustments needed. So my wrists really require that I come to fists here, so there's not so much pressure. It might also feel good to put a bend in your elbows, to let your hips lower a little. You don't have to push to your extreme all the time. You might test the water, see how it feels to drop your head back. Imagine lengthening your neck, pulling your crown away from your knees. And then let's all sink our hips, soles of the feet come together, sit up tall in Baddha Konasana, bound angle, and let's let the effort kind of settle. Some neck rolls might feel right. Good, then let's flex our spine. So inhale, your heart presses forward, exhale, spine arches back. And you can get the head and neck involved, lifting your chin as you inhale, tucking your chin as you exhale. Do this a few more times. All right, let's come into tabletop. If you like it, you can squeeze the block between your legs again. I really like it as a sense of stability, something else to kind of ground to besides what our hands and legs are connected to on the earth. And then just a couple more rounds of cow and cat, flexing the spine. As you do it, you might even imagine stretching the space your internal organs are in and then compressing. So we're really giving everything a little massage here. One of the benefits of massage is that it encourages fresh blood flow, fluid flow to the region that you're attending to. So a couple more flexions here, really focusing on your belly area, this area that houses all of your internal organs, or most of them. Is the brain an internal organ? We'll think about that. All right, coming through stillness. Press the tops of your feet down. Go ahead and engage your core a little bit and slow motion walk your hands forward, pressing your chest down. You might bring your chin to the ground or forehead. You might grab a block. Keep pressing the tops of your feet down. You might even sense like your low back is lifting up. And then see if you can kind of do less. So we've brought effort in. Let's soften and just sink into the pose and see how that feels. And then ultimately do what feels best to your body. One more slow breath in. And then from Anahatasana, or puppy pose, we'll weave the left arm under the right, so resting on the left shoulder just as best you can. I brought the right hand in front of my face to have just a little bit more support. And I'm actively pulling my left hip up and back, so still really stretching out the side body. The heart space isn't just the front of our chest, it's all around. Go ahead and release if you took the twist and twist yourself the other way. Breathing here, pulling the right hip up and back. And then let's release. If you've got a block, you can take that to the top of the mat. Go ahead and come through tabletop and then plank pose. Big breath in and plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pressing your chest towards your thighs like we were just doing in puppy pose. See how this feels. Take any movement that feels good. Movement is life. It's always fine to wiggle around in your poses. And then flip side, if you're feeling like steadiness would be better, you can settle into stillness and practice observing. 2 more breaths, let them be slow. As you're ready, walk your feet up to meet your hands. When you get to the top of your mat, you can bend your knees really generously, like more generously than we've done in a while. Hook your arms behind your legs even. Let your head hang really heavy. Knees bent so much that the chest and belly are resting on the shelf of your legs. Of course, if this is uncomfortable, then find a way that it works for you. We don't need to stay in discomfort in our yoga practice. Life has plenty of other opportunities for that jazz. Another breath. Good. Then inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold down. Inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Pause here for a few breaths. I feel like I want to roll that back. Sometimes it is good to be a bit uncomfortable in our yoga practice because it literally gives us some foundation and resilience for tolerating the discomfort of existence. Happy Wednesday. Inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Pause here, really squeeze the shoulder blades together. Look forward. Exhale, fold down, hands touch the earth. Step the right foot straight back. See if you can balance on your toes and rise up for crescent lunge today. It's okay if not. You can always drop the right knee down, maybe even put a cushion under it out of appreciation. Give yourself a few breaths just as you are. And then let's slowly open our arms out wide. Keep breathing. Palms facing the sky, arms out wide. Pull your arms back in space as best you can. Remember, if balance is too tricky, we can always lower that knee. Of course, we can also always step the right foot flat into the side. Support yourself. One more breath. And then keeping your arms out, let's pivot into warrior two. So make some adjustments to your stance. Now we're about heel to arch alignment. Left knee is bent. And then looking over your left hand, palm to the sky, like we are receiving or offering. Good. Next, inhale, lift your left palm to the sky. Right arm can wrap around behind you. You might even bring your fingertips, index finger and thumb tips to touch. Jnana Mudra, this gesture of wisdom and discernment. Stay here for 3, 2, 1 more breath. On your exhale, then cartwheel your hands to the ground facing forward. Step your left foot back, plank pose, inhale. Exhale, lower your knees and come into child's pose. You might keep the toes tucked to give the feet a little more stretch, or you might just soften. You can bend your arms, support your head if that feels good. Give yourself a few breaths. Satya is right communication through speech, writings, gesture, and actions. Let's go ahead and rise up through tabletop. Tuck your toes, find your downward facing dog. From here, inhale, shifting forward to plank pose. Exhale, put a little bend in your elbows. It doesn't have to be a lot. Untuck your toes. Inhale, straighten your arms, lifting your heart, upward facing dog. Take a little energy out of the wrists. And then exhale, downward facing dog. From down dog, let's inhale, lifting the right leg up to the sky. If you like to bend that knee and stack the hip, go for it. Take a little movement here or settle in for stillness, couple breaths. And eventually, let's step the right foot to the top of the mat. Take an inhale. Exhale, step forward into the right leg, hinging forward and down, standing splits. Try to keep your right toes light, really anchor through the root of your right big toe, pinky toe, center of your heel. Really try to push that leg down into the ground. You can do that even keeping a micro bend in the knee. And then you might see about lifting your hands off of the ground. Breathe wherever you are, however it is going. And then eventually we'll set that left foot down next to the right, fold forward. On an inhale, lift up halfway, squeeze the shoulders together. Exhale, fold down. And inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a couple breaths. On your inhale, stretch to the sky. Exhale, fold to the earth. With your in-breath, lift halfway, squeeze the shoulders together. You can look forward. Exhale, fold down, hands on the earth. Step your left foot straight back in space. See if you can steady yourself and rise up. Anjaneyasana, crescent lunge. Let it work for you. If some part of you is trying to force you into doing something that's not working, you can examine that later. Right now, let's just do what works. So dropping the left knee or stepping the left foot to the side if that's best. Keep breathing as you reach up. And then we'll open our arms out wide, palms towards the sky. Breathing here, imagine pulling your arms back in space. You could even flex your wrists, pointing the fingertips down a little bit. If balance will allow it, you might even drop your head side to side, just opening up more space through the arms, through the chest. One more breath. And then make your way to Warrior Two. Breathing in Virabhadrasana 2. Palms open towards the sky. Notice if the sensation of receiving or of offering feels more true to you as you look over your right palm. Maybe it can be both. On an inhale, let's reach the right arm up and back, Left arm can hook around behind your back, helping to lengthen that space. And index fingers and thumb tips can meet Jnana Mudra. Breathe in your reverse warrior. One more slow in breath. And exhale, cartwheel your hands to the ground, return to facing forward. Big inhale. Exhale, step into your right leg. Did we already do this side? Well, if it feels like we've already done it, feel free to switch sides. I apologize if I've miscalculated. Thank you. It's a funny day. It's a funny time. Give yourself another couple breaths. Maybe you want to play with lifting your hands. This will haunt me. I will watch the replay and know for sure someday. As you're ready, let's bring both feet to the ground. Yeah, let's put our hands on the ground, step ourselves back to plank pose. Sorry, folks. Inhale. Exhale, find your downward facing dog. From down dog, inhale, shift forward to plank pose. Exhale, little bend in your elbows, untuck your toes. Inhale, straighten out your arms, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. This is more like it. On an inhale, we'll lift the left leg to the sky. Three-legged dog, maybe bend your left knee, lift it, stack the hips. Take any movement that feels helpful to you, knowing that that can always include child's pose. But we will get back to her shortly. Couple more breaths. And from your three-legged dog, inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or swing your left foot to the top of the mat. This feels like it. Big breath in here. Exhale, step into your left leg, lifting your right heel. Does this mean we stay here double? Give yourself some time to breathe and play, lightening your left toes, anchoring down through the root of your left big toe joint, pinky joint, center of your heel. And I like to look at my foot, trying to let the head and neck be heavy, but just admire how the body is doing so much to try to maintain balance. And whether it's working out or not isn't the point. It's that our body is just naturally trying to keep us balanced. All these little muscles and bones. One more breath. And then we'll set the right foot down next to the left. There we go. On an inhale, lift up halfway, squeeze the shoulders together, maybe look ahead. Exhale, fold down. And inhale, rise all the way up, stretch your arms to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Give yourself a few breaths to recalibrate. Then we'll take a wide stance, so turning to face the wide edge of your mat. I'm referring to Desikar Char's book again. Okay. All right, so just inhale, arms out wide. Exhale, take a twist to the right and then bend down so your left hand touches the right toes or as close as you can. Inhale, rise up, arms out wide. Exhale, twist to the left, right hand to left foot. Continue at your own pace, inhaling up, exhaling, twist. Very classic calisthenics. Nice way to kind of rebalance and move some energy through the body. Go at your own pace. One more time each side. When we meet, Let's see if we can jump together. So big inhale, and as you exhale, see if you can snap the legs together. Awesome. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale. Do this a few times in a way that works for you. Big chest opener. One more. Let's stand tall. Noticing what areas of your body feel alive or like there's sensation, and practicing paying attention. Let's go ahead and come down to our seat. Grab a block if you want to use it for a little supported bridge pose. So rolling onto your spine. And then with your feet comfortably close to your hips, lift your hips. You can squeeze the glutes upwards and place the block on your preferred setting under your sacrum. So down below the rib cage on the very base of your spine. And you can walk your shoulder blades towards each other and settle in for a few breaths in bridge pose, really puffing up your chest here. If you don't have the block or if something doesn't feel good, please just lower down and enjoy full breaths with your spine on the ground. Just a little bit more here. If you're on a block and feeling really steady and want to play for a split second, you could draw your knees in towards your chest and then stretch your legs up to the sky. All right, then all of us will remove the block if it's there. Lower our spine and seat to the ground. Keeping your knees bent, let your legs fall to the left side, passing through a twist here. And then come through center and let the legs fall to the other side. And come through center. Option here to bring the soles of the feet together and let yourself rest in Baddha Konasana. If that's not restful, just stretch your legs out long. For me, I like to put my palms face down on the mat and slide my hands then under my hips, just south of the sacrum, to feel a little supported in Baddha Konasana. Breathing wherever you take it. As you rest a moment more, I'll share Desikar words on Ahimsa, which we studied last month, and again Satya, which we're studying this month. The 8 components of yoga are discussed in sutras. The yamas compromise ahimsa, consideration for all living things, especially those who are innocent, in difficulty, or worse off than we are. And satya, right communication through speech, writings, gesture, and actions. Other ethics that we'll explore is non-covetousness, or the ability to resist a desire for that which does not belong to us. Moderation in all of our actions. And non-greediness, or the ability to accept only what is appropriate, what we need. As you feel ready, you can release your practice and make your way to an easy seat. If you would like to stay with me for a bit of mindfulness meditation, we will do that. I could certainly use that today. If it's time for you to go, then thank you so much for being here, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Love you guys. All right, so if you'd like to settle in for some meditation, let yourself get comfortable, and it might look like moving to a piece of furniture or leaning back against the wall. Then we could sit up nice and tall, bringing the tips of the index fingers and tips of the thumbs to touch, letting the rest of the fingers extend long. You might do this palms down or palms up. It's said energetically that palm down is a little bit more like we are containing what we've got. We're kind of staying level. Palm up would be open to receive some more energy. Me being me, I usually do one of each. And then you can scan the space that you're in with your eyes. You might move your head as you look around the space. And then let your head be still, but have your eyes keep scanning side to side. For some of us, we might yawn. This is working with our more primitive aspects and nervous system, scanning the environment for safety. And then eventually let your eyes settle into stillness, maybe even closing the eyes softly. Imagine yourself sitting here with dignity. A lift through your heart, a lift through the spine, but a softness through the face and a softness through the shoulders. So the practice of Vipassana in Buddhist tradition is practicing noticing what is. So avoiding adding any stories about what we find, any judgments or critiques. We're just very neutrally noticing what's here now. And so let's start at the very crown of our heads. Just try to notice any sensation at the very crown of your head. Asking the mind and the attention to stay on this one point, the very top of your head. And if it doesn't immediately notice something, it's so normal for the mind to just go running off somewhere else. Just gently bring it back, just the same way you would lovingly train a puppy or teach a child. Imagining your most patient self calling your attention back. What's here at the crown of the head? And let's notice the very back of our head. Scanning, looking for sensation. It's okay if we don't sense anything. We might pass through some areas of the body that don't generally get attention. If you can notice the sides of your head, the area of your temples. Noticing your ears, the tops of your ears, down to your earlobes. Try to notice inside your ears. And then the front of your face. Noticing the front of your head, from the forehead to the eyes. Let the eyes be heavy. Notice maybe the sensation of your fluid eyes. Your cheeks. Noticing the breath as it comes in and leaves. Notice your lips, the muscles around your mouth. Notice the front of your throat, the sides of your neck, the back of your neck. Imagining your attention like a soft spotlight rested on the tops of your shoulders, and then let your attention cascade down your arms. Take your time going all the way down to your fingertips and working your way back up. Notice the chest, perhaps the rise and fall of your breath. Noticing the back of the chest, the sides. Noticing the very base of your rib cage, all the way around. And then noticing the stomach and low back areas. No judgments, no stories, just noticing sensation. And noticing the area of your hips. And the tops of your thighs. Inner thighs. And backs of your legs. The outer thighs, the IT band area. Let your attention swirl around your knees, noticing the inner knees, tops of your knees, the outer edges and the backs. Then noticing your lower legs. Noticing the tops of your feet. The soles of your feet. Notice your big toes. The next toe over. The middle toes. The next toe over. And your little toes. And then imagine sweeping your attention all the way up your body. Take your time. Noticing if the mind wants to jump ahead, and just keep slowing it down. And when you do eventually reach the crown of your head, so we've been working with reality, like what we're really sensing. Now let's imagine. See if we can imagine sensing a sparkling golden light overhead. Let's create that energetically. And then imagine this warm, glowing energy flowing all the way from the crown of your head down the body. Just draping over every part of you like a cozy blanket. Wrapping yourself up in this sparkling golden light. You might repeat to yourself in your mind or out loud, "May I be free from ill will toward myself and others. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be joyous. May I be of service to the greater good. May I be free of ill will toward myself and others. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be joyous. May I be of service to the greater good." Let's sit in silence for one moment. Thank you so much for sharing your time and your practice. If you'd like to chant one round of Om to close out this time, you can join your hands together in front of your heart, sitting tall, taking a breath in for your vibration. Om. Deep bow of gratitude. Thank you for sharing your time and your practice. I hope you have a beautiful day ahead.